I'm Alvin King, and this is We Speak. Good evening. Tonight I'm sharing an hour of conversation with one of the hottest celebrity makeup artists on the planet. Celebrity makeup artist Kym Lee has been painting beautiful faces for over 20 years. Kym's work has graced the pages of major publications such as Essence, Glamour, InStyle, and People magazine. In the world of TV and film, her work has been seen on the big screen as key makeup artist for movies like Jump of the Broom, Sparkle, Black Nativity, the Toni Braxton movie, and her most recent special appearance was on the episode of Real Housewives of Atlanta. Some of her brushes with fame include the legendary Whitney Houston, Angela Bassett, Hillary Rodham Clinton, Kerry Washington, Paula Patton, Fergie, Mary, and Venus and Serena Williams. Join me in welcoming to the We Speak one-on-one stage with the fabulous Miss Kym Lee. Kym, welcome to my show.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
I am so incredibly honored to have you. Wow. I'm incredible. I feel, God, I can't even speak because watching you grow into Kym Lee has been as exciting for me as if I had a child. I don't have any kids, but it's been that exciting for me.
Thank you.
So, no, thank you.
Thank you.
Viewers, some of you may or may not know this about me, but my career started in the fashion production industry. Kym was one of the first, if not the first, makeup artist I ever booked to go on tour with me and my company. So let me open the show by first, again, giving you a heartfelt congratulations, Kym. Again, I'm going to say it throughout this evening. You were doing some stuff. What I didn't say about you in the opening was that you are a phenomenal woman.
Thank you.
First and foremost, that you're also a mother, a motivational speaker. You are a licensed minister, and all of this while holding down a position at BET Networks, broadcasting weekly beauty segments on Radio 1. In addition to being a beauty editor for Sister to Sister magazine. So my first question to you is, how in the HECK do you do it all?
It's a lot, and I often pray for balance. God gave us 24 hours in a day, which means that there's enough time to do all the things that you need to do if you keep Him first, and if you prioritize. And so some days you spend more time being mommy, other days you spend more time being a makeup artist. What I've realized is that you can't, be top heavy and just focus on one thing constantly. So that you have to take your life, and I put it, actually, it's so funny, I learned this in college. I was in law school, and so I'm very analytical. So you take your life, you put it in a pie, and you categorize everything, and you got to look at the slices of the pie and say, you know what, which piece am I eating today? And when you see one side of the pie, just about done, and you look at the other side, you're like, I haven't eaten that side, I got to come over here. So I do that all the time, and I see things metaphorically. So for me, I always make sure that I'm balanced, and I don't always get it right. Sometimes things do lack. Sometimes things aren't perfect. But what I have been able to accomplish in my lifetime, I'm pretty, thankful for, and definitely honored to hold so many different, positions. And it all says give back. I'm a woman who gives back, who loves to serve people. And so, whatever it is that you're supposed to do in life is always what comes easiest to you.
Right, exactly.
And so I can wake up and serve people. I can wake up and make up someone's face. I can wake up and encourage you. I can wake up and motivate you and be your champion and your fire starter, you know. And so I can do that with my eyes closed. I can wake up and be mommy because I love, you know, making sure my son is taken care of. So those are the things that I do easy. So it's not, it can be difficult in terms of timing, but in terms of effort, it's never difficult.
Well, and you know, hearing you say that, something spiritual comes over me, you know, when I hear you talk, especially in that manner. And so in reading about you, one of the things that I read was that you proudly call your makeup case your pulpit.
Absolutely.
And you use it to inspire women to live. You are the founder of a nonprofit organization called Inner Skins. Tell us about Inner Skins and how you got started.
Inner Skins is something that happened from my heart. There's so many women who I found myself volunteering with who are transitioning back into the work world from drug and alcohol addiction. And so Inner Skins is actually something that I require those that work for me to work in. So you can't work with celebrities and not serve.
That's what's up.
So it's like a twofold. So I have a staff that works with me, and the whole requirement is that in order to work with me, you have to serve people, because there's no way you can serve someone and not be able to serve someone. And so that's kind of where it came from. I wanted to make sure that I weaned out foolishness. I weaned out those who were, you know, so, you know, inundated or involved with being backstage and backstage passes, because people can get
caught up,
confused. And social media has done that. Social media has caused us to now want to be in front of the camera, where we feel like, oh, we always have to, you know, have our, you know, selfies with people and things like that. But no, honey, you're here to serve.
Right.
And so I make sure that my staff serves the community. And so what other women would I serve if those are in need? And so God led me to work with Hannah House and Covenant House and House of Ruth. So I work with battered women and women, again, that are transitioning back into the work world, who don't necessarily know how to dress for work, dress for success. Those women who don't necessarily know, you know, the difference between club gear and work gear and things like that. You know, I work with them and teaching them how to keep their hygiene intact. And so those are some of the things, again, that come easy to me. It's what I do for a living, so why not give back to the community? So that is where Inner Skins came from, learning to love the skin I'm in. For so often women, you know, love other things, but they don't love the skin that they're in.
That's right.
And so they'll love your skin, they'll love her skin, they'll love his skin, but not their skin.
Right.
So it's important that you love the skin you're in. So that's where Inner Skins came from.
Well, you know, again, hearing you talk about that and watching you, we have worshipped in the same temple, and I know that there have been events where I didn't know it was called Inner Skins, but I knew that you were involved, and it was mostly all female events, you know. And when I would hear them talk, because I, you know, sing in a choir, and they would always be praising you and telling and letting me know how they felt after, you know, being in your presence and how beautiful you made them feel. And I would always look at them and go, well, you know, I hope you stick with it, because she's no joke. If she tells you, you better listen to it. So no, I know firsthand that your gift is real.
Thank you.
I do. So Kym, when did you come to the realization that you were ready to tackle this makeup and beauty industry on a higher level?
So growing up in the beauty industry, I grew up in a beauty salon. I was a salon baby. I answered the phones and shampooed hair and did all those things. Went to college, got a degree, went to law school, hated it. Came back to the salon one Sunday, and there was a bride there. And my cousin said, Kym, can you put a little makeup on her? And when I put the makeup on her, I remember spinning her around in the chair. And I remember her looking in the mirror, and tears began to fall. Of course, I'm thinking to myself, I ruined it. I hate law school. I ruined that. I hate this. This face is a mess. I ruined that. But when actually it was the opposite, quite the contrary. She said, I'd never look more beautiful.
Wow.
And it was my aha moment. And I said, God, if I can wake up every day and make women cry, then my purpose is complete. And that's when I knew my passion had met my purpose that day. And from that point, I knew that I was going to have to make some serious decisions, which many people are not brave enough to do. To leave law school and to leave I was going to Georgetown, so to leave Georgetown and make that decision to pursue makeup is in a whole nother world.
Yeah.
Was very difficult for me. I was ridiculed. I was, talked about. My family was very disappointed because their point was, Kym, you've always been extremely smart, very career oriented. Why would you choose makeup? Because then 23, 4 years ago, makeup artists were not a dime a dozen as they are now.
That's right.
So to do that, it took a lot of courage, and it was courage I didn't even know I had.
Wow.
It was guts I didn't even know was inside of me. And so in doing that, I was very scared. I felt like I was in the water, swimming, and I couldn't see the shore. And you don't know which way to go. And you're pedaling, and you're swimming, and you're looking around, and all you can see, as far as your eye can see, is water.
Wow. Wow. I like that metaphor. I like that.
That. And so for me, it was one of those things. I said, well, God, you just got to be my fins. You're going to have to push me. You're going to have to be the sail behind this wind. You're going to have to push me to shore because I don't see my way. And he did. And I'm thankful because from that point, of course, I started working with you. And I was able to travel around the world and see the beauty of the beauty industry firsthand. I feel like I kind of cheated, and I think that God allowed me to cheat because I trusted him so much. It's something about faith that just, when you have faith,
that's right,
you can move mountains.
You sure can.
And you end up leaping over. The Bible says he'll give you hinds feet. You end up leaping over things that normally other people have to climb and do.
That's right.
So that faith allowed me to be able to travel around the world with you, on tours, and be able to stay in great hotels and be able to be backstage with, with top-notch producers and directors and to have a call sheet and to have a green room with food and, all of the things, little things that makeup artists, unfortunately, today never have an opportunity to see.
Wow.
You know what I mean? They never have an opportunity, or they're working towards that. And so I feel like God just kind of threw me out in that water, and next thing I know, here I am on this beautiful island. And I am literally taking in all of the perks that come with the island. I got the sun, I got the palm trees, I got all this stuff, just all at once. And I'm just so thankful for that because it's that whole faith thing. And then from after that, I started working at BET. So it was like I never really worked my way up. It was like that moment when she cried.
Was your turning, or your moment?
Was my moment.
Your moment.
And from that point on, I never looked back to law school. Never had a desire to go back. Couldn't even tell you anything about civil procedures. Couldn't care less about anybody doing, clerkships. My friends now who are practicing attorneys wish they were doing makeup. Trust me. They always say, Kym, your life is much more interesting than mine. And although I respect them and love them for what they do, we do need people to represent us in the law and on the legal field. Unfortunately, I just wasn't that person. So. Well,
I'm so glad that you answered your call.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will be right back to speak more with Kym Lee.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We've got a big problem, and we need your help.
It's called sexual assault, and it has to stop.
We have to stop it. So listen up.
If she doesn't consent, or if she can't consent,
it's a crime. It's wrong.
We need all of you to be part of the solution. This is about respect. It's about responsibility.
It's up to all of us to put an end to sexual assault. And that starts with you.
Because one is too many.
Sometimes all it takes to be a dad is remembering how to be a kid again. Take time to be a dad today.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to our evening of We Speak. For those of you who are just tuning in, I'm talking with celebrity makeup artist, DC's own Miss Kym Lee. Thank you again for being here, Kym.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So, Kym, who are some of your What are some of your biggest influences, and how did they influence you in your career?
Some of my biggest influences, one of which is you, and I'm so thankful. And I'm not saying that because I'm sitting here with you. It's very true. And as I said it before the commercial break, I was introduced to the industry as a top-notch artist, not even knowing I was going to be a top-notch artist. It was almost like you gave me a preview of the future at my start. So you were one of my influences. Derek Rutledge is one of my influences. He now does Oprah. I was blessed to be able to work with him at BET and sit under his tutelage for many, many years and serve him and clean his brushes. And, so I'm thankful that I was able to watch him and watch his work ethic and how he loved his clients and how he created relationships, and how it was more than just the art of it, but it was about the relationship that you have with the client. I realized that only 20% of the beauty industry is your gift. The rest of it is what you put into that client. Sam Fine was another great influence for me. And these are people that I was able to work with closely. I met Sam at the beginning of my career at a hair show. He was speaking, and I walked up to him and I said, I absolutely love your work. I have your book, and I just appreciate your work and your effort. And we kept in touch. And even to this day, like Sam just called me. And I'm so proud of him for all that he has done in the beauty industry and all of the landmarks that he's laid for us and all of the hurdles he's had to jump over in order for us to be able to come behind him. You're only as strong as those backs that you're able to stand on. And he's a strong one, and I love him for that. Some other people who have inspired me has been my mom. My mom has been a huge inspiration for me. She's always believed in me. She's always supported me and supported me with my son and allowed me to be able to have the freedom and the ability to travel around the world, having a son, and being able to have, a chance to see life, whether it be with him or picking him up for me or what have you. So I really appreciate my mom.
Well, I tend to do this every now and then. I'm gonna go off script for a minute. And I know you have a son. I met your son on a couple of occasions. Can you speak to us about how to be a mother, single mother, in this industry, doing what you do, and how that has impacted your relationship with your son?
Being a single mom in this industry can be tough. It was a decision that when I got pregnant, I decided to stay in the business because of a very strong influence in my life, which was Maya Angelou. Maya Angelou said something, and I read one of her biography pieces, or listened to one of her biography pieces, and she said, wherever I go, I take my son. And if he can't go, I don't go.
See. Okay.
And so she, went on to talk about, all of the events that she attended and how she would put her baby in a backpack on her back and walk from the train, walk from the airport to wherever she had to go. And he would be in a tuxedo. And she said she would make sure, she said, I didn't always have a ride, but I always had my son with me.
See.
I didn't always have a way, but I knew that if he was with me, it was going to be all right. She took him with her during a time when women weren't always accepted. The industry that we work in, it is a very male-driven industry, and sometimes women are not accepted.
Wow, I didn't know that. Wow, okay.
Yes, it is. Okay. Men, if you notice, all of my influences are men.
I was going to say, you're right. You're right. Okay.
All of my influences are men. And so it is an industry that, acceptance for how you look, acceptance for, what clique you could be in or not in, could make or break you. And so making that decision to bring my son with me was a risky one because Maya did it. But I wasn't Maya.
Right.
And what I loved about my son is how he adjusted, in so many situations where I would do the same thing. Not in a backpack, because I think by the time Nicholas came around, we had something to put him in, tote him around, right. But I definitely, brought him with me, and he was such a compliant child. He was always the type of child who kind of went with the flow. He would sit on set, and he would just be quiet, and he would just do what he was supposed to do, just perfectly mild-mannered child. And so, but, I missed him. So some of the sacrifices I had to make when I couldn't be with him was that my heart ached. Yeah. Because I wasn't able to see his smile. I wasn't able to, I remember when he ran for president of his school. And I was on set with Whitney Houston. And I remember being in Detroit, and I remember walking outside to talk to him because we couldn't talk on set. And the wind was blowing, and that Detroit wind coming off those lakes was just blowing, and it was just hitting up against my face. It felt like someone was smacking me in the face. And on the other end of the phone was him crying because I wasn't there to be there for his election. And I remember just feeling like I was in between like a whirlwind. I remember feeling like, why am I here? Why am I here? I love you, Whitney, but why am I here? My son's running for president of his school. And my son unfortunately lost that race. He lost that race by 15 points, 15 votes. And I felt like he lost that race because I wasn't there. Wow. And it bothered me tremendously throughout the set. And I remember telling Whitney, and I remember crying to her. And she called Nicholas. And she congratulated him because she said, you know what? We're not going to always win. She said, but you always win when you do your best.
Wow. Kym, faith. You talked about that earlier, faith. Yeah. Wow, you okay?
Yeah,
okay?
I'm good.
Oh, you good?
I'm good. I have a lot of great moments with Whitney. That I prayed with her. Going back to my makeup case being my pulpit, people like Whitney and and Mary J. Blige and A-list artists who can't go to church without the camera snapping and they raise their hands to give God praise, or they may cry because they're so thankful because we're artists, and so artists, we're very expressive. So we tend to be outwardly expressive. So we may cry, we may laugh, we go into a shell sometimes because we don't want to be bothered. So we go through these emotional highs and lows. And so her doing that in church, people think, is she on the drugs? Is she doing it? I mean, when she crying over Bobby? Is she so that makeup case has to become the pulpit because they can't express themselves openly and freely because people are always looking at them, trying to figure out, judging them, what's going on in her life. When all along she's just an artist and she just wanted to express herself. And so I was able to pray with her and listen to Fred Hammond with her, who was one of her favorite artists. I was able to listen to Kim Burrell with her, which was another one of her favorite artists. And we would start off our mornings, because our call times would be 4 a.m. We would start off our day, in worship. And she, was just very, very, it was comforting to have someone on set who was from the East Coast. Because East Coast girls, we got a lot of, we got a lot of, what? We sassy girls, we sassy girls. And so to have her on set, I mean, we both like to eat crabs. We both, both like to talk trash. We both love to dance. And even though people didn't think Whitney could dance, because all her, the industry made her do all those.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
But she really could dance.
She could dance, yeah.
She really could dance.
I heard that. I heard that
she really could dance, but they made her look like she couldn't dance, but she could dance. That's something I wanted to say. But yeah, she could dance, so we danced and we rapped. We love rap music and we prayed.
Wow.
And we just did, and we just had such a good time. So, that whole East Coast thing, that camaraderie, us both being single mothers, us both, coming from church, us both being sassy girls. I mean, she's right from, up the road, in Jersey, which is a stone's throw from D.C. And so it was just amazing to be able to share that time with her before she passed and allow God to use me to minister to her and just love her. And her, in turn, minister to me and tell me, you know what, baby, it's going to be all right.
Wow.
It's going to be all right.
Wow. Thank you. Oh, wow, Kym. Okay. So you got me all sitting and getting emotional. Okay. After starting out with you in the fashion industry, during the late 80s and 90s, for me, I've seen many changes in how runway shows are handled. And, you know, again, we had a level, and thanks to you. You always rose to the occasion. How would you describe the behind the scenes of runway shows today? You kind of touched on it, but
yeah, I mean, you know, we just leaving out of Fashion Week, you know, and it's interesting. It's very interesting. You know, anything goes now. You know, there's still a standard. There's still a standard. I think that because anything goes, whereas trends before kind of transcend through different designers, now designers are doing a little bit of everything. And so I guess it's just kind of knowing the designer and knowing where you fit in as an artist. If you can roll with just do anything, just take the hair and tousle it and go, you know, whereas we were a little more structured, and a little more precise at times. But I think that it's life, you know, and it evolves, and it's coming back.
Yep.
It's coming back. Okay. What I'm concerned about, Alvin, that I have noticed amongst industry folk is just sometimes there's not a level of integrity, and that's something that bothers me. It's a conversation that we probably can do offline and a whole nother show about integrity, but it's I don't find that people are as integral as they should be. I think that, you know, a microwaved career is what people are looking for, because again, and I go back to social media, although I'm on it, I have to be, but social media has made people feel like you don't have to do the work. That you can just wake up in the morning and that it just happens. And you wake up in the morning and we have on these 5-inch lashes and these beautiful stiletto nails, and that's how it is. No, it takes work. And I'm not just talking about, you know, beauty stuff. I mean, just learning your craft, reading about your craft, reading about the greats who preceded you, reading about, you know, liners and how they work, and, you know, reading about lashes and, you know, the different ones, you know, natural lashes versus mink lashes versus, you know, whatever. You need to know the differences, and you need to read up on your craft. And I think that that is something that a lot of artists are lacking. All they want to do, they feel like if I look at YouTube, I can be a celebrity makeup artist. No, it takes more than YouTube. It's going to take you doing some service, which is why I make my girl, I don't say make, I suggest highly that my team volunteer with women who are not as fortunate.
Get some humility up.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Wow. Your list of credits are actually growing as we sit here right now in this interview. Talk to me about some of the biggest challenges that you faced while working with celebrities coast to coast.
I think some of the challenges working with celebrities is today. It used to be a time when we would travel with them, but now there's a makeup artist in every city. So reinventing yourself has been probably one of my biggest challenges, because I'm used to being called for a tour. Now you might get called for 3 cities in a 20-city tour. That is going to affect your budget. It's going to affect your money, your income. So that has been a challenge for me. I'm sure in all of my comrades and colleagues, it's a challenge for them as well, because they feel like, you know, I'm used to making X amount of dollars, and so you have to now reinvent yourself. Some of the other challenges with working with celebrities, a lot of times they don't get along. So you can't tell one celebrity that you work with another celebrity. Now, you know, I've been on TV now, and on these reality shows. I've been on the Marys, I've been on the Braxtons, and I've been on Atlanta Housewives. So celebrities know who I'm working with. You know? And I post them, but for whatever reason, they're like, I didn't know you worked with her. You know, and so what I have to teach the girls is that you have to be discreet. So if you're at an award show, I never tell a celebrity I'm doing another celebrity. I always go to the award show and make them feel like they are exclusive. Like you are getting carte blanche, and there's no one else in this world that exists other than you. And then I have a whole nother kit set up.
For somebody else?
For somebody else. I take 2 kits with me when I travel. I have to. I have to pay the price for the overage of my bags, but I have to take 2 kits because I can't be late. to that other person.
Right.
I can't make them feel like they're not as important. Now, what I don't do is I don't do more than 2 at an award show.
Okay.
Because that is going to drive me crazy. Because think about it, everyone wants to be on their red carpet at the same time.
Right, exactly.
Unless you're Beyonce and you can show up when you feel like it.
Okay. Is that what happens?
Oh, she shows up last. She's not coming on first. Red carpets are 2 hours long.
Go, B.
So, B, if the red carpet's from 3 to 5 and the show starts at 6, red carpet shuts down at 5:45. So the show starts at 6. Give you 15 minutes to get to your seat. Beyonce's going to show up at 5:45.
The last.
She's the last of the Mohicans.
Last one standing.
She's the last one.
Wow.
And big ups to her beauty team. I love her beauty team. They're my friends. We're all really good friends.
More with celebrity makeup artist Kym Lee when we return. We'll be right back. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
I am a little bit nervous about people kind of hearing that I am this way and then thinking, well, she's not welcome here.
I would say I am different. We're all different.
Most people probably think I'm already weird anyway, so I mean, I don't think society's impression of me is going to change drastically based on 1 or 2 discoveries that come to light after this video. Or
pretty scary, you know? You wonder, how many people can I really, truly, honestly be open with?
I've tried to change this before, but it's too important to me. I actually think marriage is between a man and a woman.
I believe that marriage is between a man and a woman. I already have an idea of what marriage should be. That will never change.
At the end of the day, I think we don't need to truly be ashamed of how we really feel about things, so just be you.
No one should be looked down upon. No one should be suppressed, or no one's views should be suppressed.
I know a lot of people who are gay. I have friends who are gay. I don't fear them, you know? They're wonderful people. I love them. What I do feel insecure about is speaking from the heart and being really open and honest about what I believe.
I mean, I love my friends. Several of them happen to be gay. How would it not be the case that the ever-loving Creator who gave us everything we have doesn't love us?
Where's that balance? You know, where can you say, no, I'm not going to be a part of this, but still respect someone?
Bigoted is a huge word that gets thrown around. It's just not true.
You cannot have a society of hatred or a society of bigotry.
I happen to know what marriage is, and I don't see how it could change.
The best way to kind of break down all of these barriers, is to just get to know people one-on-one. You're not alone. You're not alone. You're not alone.
That you're in my lane? No, not at all. Are you not paying attention? Are you texting? I was just checking in with my mom. I was telling her that I thought we'd be home by 6. It's okay. There's enough time. Just pay attention. I'm not even halfway through my text. There's no way. I'm not even going to look up. My babies are in the car. You have to pay attention. It's just supposed to be a quick text. I'm so sorry.
The earthquakes you see in movies are one thing, but real life is a completely different animal. Just because you can't predict an earthquake doesn't mean that you can't prepare for one. In the event of a real earthquake, you should drop, cover, and hold on. Visit ready.gov/ earthquake and practice what to do to keep you and your family safe in the event of a real earthquake. And you'll be seen as a hero by your family and your loved ones.
Visit ready.gov/earthquake today.
You know, I love being backstage with Silver because one guy looked at me.
Can you just lay it out a little bit? Very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tony.
No problem. I just didn't want you to call.
Serving the leg, though.
Yeah, I was trying to serve this. How do you serve something else, child?
You got you.
I wasn't serving the people, honey. I was serving.
And so I can get to you is that, one, you are a phenomenal woman.
Thank you.
You are a mother. You are a licensed minister. You are also, Tony.
My bad. I just thought you were talking. Sorry. Go ahead.
See, that's how see.
Because I'm looking at them like they're questions. So.
Well, yeah, because you like keep it rolling.
Okay, go ahead.
When I stop, that's okay. Well, now where do I start? What I didn't say?
What I didn't say is that you're a mother, a licensed minister.
Okay, I'm gonna start right here. Okay.
Excuse me.
Know who? Well, you know you. Okay, we're gonna go to question 10. We're gonna go because this student's itching, and I'm ready to get out of her right now. Okay.
4, 3, 2.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to say for those of you who just tuned in, I'm just going to say on my set tonight is celebrity makeup artist Kym Lee. Kym, again, thank you for being here with me.
You are so welcome.
Oh, you've just taken me places that I needed to go. That's what's up.
Awesome.
So let's talk about where makeup is going in terms of trends, physical enhancements, or that may or may not be good for the beauty industry.
Oh, wow. Well, I think, you know, this whole no makeup look that has inundated our whole community from celebrities to average folk. Everybody wants to have this clean, fresh J-Lo look. They don't want this monochromatic look. I think that it is a beautiful look if you have features.
Right.
I think it's a beautiful look if you have beautiful skin. It is not a look for a person who has hyperpigmentation, who has acne, who doesn't have features, because you're going to wash out. And I've seen so many artists who have washed out right now. So I'll be kind of glad when that trend leaves, because I still like to see a woman in red lipstick. Right. I still like to see a woman in hot pink, like myself. I still like to see women in color. Whether you're African American or Caucasian, whether you're Latino, whatever. I like to see women in color. I do like those looks, but they're looks that have to be built upon. You have to really kind of layer, contour, layer, contour, and it's a lot. So that's kind of the trend that's going on now. It's not one of my favorites because I'm a color girl.
Right.
But it definitely is one that is beautiful on the right person.
How much does confidence play into that? I mean, you know,
confidence in Botox.
Okay, because you know, my philosophy on that is do what you need to do for you. I'm not going to judge someone who wants to trim their nose, whether it be through contour with the gift that you have, or if they want to go get it nipped and tucked. Do what you need to do for you. That's.
I am a huge component of plastic surgery, of cosmetic surgery, plastic surgery, augmentations, enhancements, whatever you want to call them. I'm a huge component of them because I feel like you should be able to do what you want to do.
Right.
It's your body, it's your life. And if there's some things that can make you look better, I think doing it in moderation always helps. I mean, I've had a few little things done myself, and I don't have a problem telling it because, you know, I work in a business where it is ever changing and evolving, and the girls are coming in, and I have to compete with that because it's not just about my ability, but it's also about how I look.
Right.
And so I do a little Botox, I do a little Juvederm and a little Restylane injections, and I do little things, you know, just to kind of keep me fresh. And I don't have a problem with that at all.
Well, let's face it, you are a brand.
Listen, can we talk about that?
You are a brand, okay? And for those of you who are watching, please, if you are a brand and you are a real brand, you should know what to do to maintain that brand. And Kym Lee.
You got to bleach your teeth. I mean, you're going to have to, there's some things that you're going to have to do. You're going to have to keep your nails done. You're going to have to, because I don't know when I'm going to get these phone calls to be on television. And so you're scrambling and scraping, you know. Now it used to be a time when I could show up, you know, at your events when I was working for you. I could show up in jeans and a t-shirt, and I still do that. But you almost have to have your face beat because you guys have cameras backstage now.
Right, exactly.
You know,
right.
everything is now
That's
being
right.
captured.
Right.
You know, and people want to see what goes on behind the scenes, and so it's important. If you do have a brand, I encourage it highly that you keep and maintain your image. Image is everything, and we still work or live in a world that is image driven, and so image is everything. And so you know, whatever that image might be for you. You know, for some girls, it's, you know, they're natural girls. They like their twists. You know, we got other girls who say, I like my ponytails. But I just feel like you should, whatever your image is, I think establishing that and being confident in your image and rocking it.
Own it.
You know, and owning it.
Owning it. There are a lot of women out here. You kind of touched on it. But I want to dig a little deeper in that question, in this next question. There are a lot of women out here who have strong opinions about whether or not makeup enhances a woman's natural beauty. Tell me how you would respond to a woman who feel that makeup hides a woman's natural beauty and consider wearing it a sellout for women.
Well, you know, it's funny because I'm glad you asked that question. I did a survey or study with NASA. For many years, I worked there as a consultant to their top executives, helping them to establish their look. And one of the things that the male executives said, who were in the higher tier of the company, was that they take women more seriously when they are made up.
Right.
And they take them more seriously because they look polished. There is something about having a little bit of makeup on that says, I care. It's more than just compromising. It's about saying, I care. And so you just putting on a little lipstick. I remember growing up as a child, my mother would never go to the mailbox without lipstick on in her shades. You know, and that was her thing. I mean, she would go to the grocery store in her red lipstick and shades. You know, and I still do that. Let me tell you something. I have been boosted up to first class because of red lipstick and shades. Okay? I have actually said to the steward or the stewardess, listen, do you guys have any extra seats? I'm sitting here in the back and I'm so uncomfortable. And they said, absolutely, Miss Lee, come and have a seat up front. I've been ushered up to first class on planes many times because I've had on makeup.
Right.
I do believe that that's what it was, because when you do put that makeup on, it does make you feel confident.
Right.
There hasn't been one woman who I have serviced who has been a non-makeup wearer who has not felt better after I finished her face.
Well,
and I stand on that.
I will attest to. I have to agree. I've seen it again. I've seen it. I've seen it. So I know firsthand that to be true. I've seen how you have changed the attitude of models on a runway backstage, and to watch them become something else.
It's their alter ego.
Because models, we know, when they come to a set, we all know they don't look like what they do when they hit that runway. And that's in a large part due to you and your craft.
Thank you.
Again, I applaud you. What advice would you give someone breaking into the industry business who aspires to achieve the type of success you have?
Never give up. I know it seems general. I know it seems cliche, but it's very true. You cannot give up. If one door closes, you need to go into the back to another door. If that door closes, then you need to jump through a window. If the window is locked, then you need to come through the roof like Santa Claus. But whatever you do,
go get it.
You got to get it. And you can never give up. And I never take no for an answer. And I taught my son that. He's like, Mom, you never give up. He was like, I can't believe you. I said, I am diligent and I am resilient. And if I can't do it, I'll go to sleep on it. And once I get my rest and wake up, God renews my strength and I'm right back at it again until it gets done. So that is the advice that I would give anybody. Setting goals and setting short-term goals and long-term goals. Sometimes when we set long-term goals all the time, like I'm going to be a millionaire. Well, what's wrong with being a thousandaire?
Right, right.
What's wrong with being a thousandaire and paying your bills on time and just being able to have happiness and sit and have a glass of wine with friends and enjoying life? Because you know, more money, more problems. Biggie said it right.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
So sometimes people say, oh, I got these big dreams, you know, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And they don't appreciate the small steps.
Right.
They don't appreciate, you know, family. They don't appreciate relationships. They don't appreciate, you know, taking those those small steps. So I always tell people when you're setting goals to celebrate the short goals or the smaller goals or the ones that didn't require. Like, in other words, my goal is to go to the gym this week.
Right.
That's okay.
Right.
You know, and celebrate the fact that you went to the gym this week, the 3 times you said you were going to go.
Right.
Where a lot of people say, they have this goal of this girl on their refrigerator who has this Coke bottle shape, and they know that their body will never look like that unless they get some augmentation.
Right.
Right?
Right.
But it's okay to say, I'm going to celebrate the fact that I went to the gym today.
Right.
I'm going to celebrate the fact that I came up with a business name today.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to celebrate the fact that I bought 6 eyeliners today.
That's
your
it.
kit eventually will get built. Your clientele will eventually be established. But you got to celebrate and appreciate the short steps or the small goals. And then eventually they turn into those little rocks, those little stepping stones, turn into mountains.
You know, I'm going to tell you, a friend of mine, actually, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to see this person. I'm so grateful tonight. I was just on a concert with her. I don't want to give her name away just yet. But after the concert, of which you did the makeup for her, she looked stunning.
Thank you.
The next day I called her, and we talked about the show. And I told her, before you go anyplace, I just want you to tell me one thing. Did you appreciate what you did? How do you feel about your performance last night? And I just want to hear you tell me one thing. And I said, and she said, what? I said, well, I want you to applaud yourself. I want you to feel good about what you did.
Yes.
And it's so much truth in that. And just to hear her tell me that she appreciated, she appreciated what she did that night. She celebrated herself that night. That's all I wanted to hear. Because
she told me that story, and it's funny because she and I did a gig together, and I appreciated every moment of it because you planted that seed in her, and I remember her telling me that the next day. I talked to her 2 days later because I said I'm gonna give her a couple days, and I remember calling her, and that's the first thing she said to me. She said, Alvin asked me if I appreciated or if I was proud of myself.
Proud, that was it. Proud of
herself.
If
am I proud of myself?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, wow, that's a question I never asked myself about any accomplishment I ever make. Because working in the industry, the beauty industry, you're only as good as your last gig. And so sometimes you forget how great these moments are because you're so busy looking at the next moment.
Right.
The first thing people ask me everywhere I go is, what you got coming up next? Well, I'm here. I'm here.
Right.
This is what I got going on next.
Sit down.
This right here.
Let me do your face.
Yeah, we're going to do this right here. This right. Your moment
Right.
is my next moment.
Right.
You know, your wedding, your event, your 50th birthday, your bar mitzvah, your whatever.
Wow.
You know, this is your event, and this is my next big gig. This is it.
Well, speaking of big gigs, you recently produced an empowerment luncheon for women that focused on finding their inner beauty through the eyes of God, which I love the whole concept behind that. Tell us about the event and what it meant for you to serve as a creative force behind it.
Let me tell you something. To have those 210 women in that room, when I started planning this, and I don't want to say her name because she's getting ready to perform, but I planned this event with the performer who is performing tonight. And so I'm so honored that I'm here with her and able to share my experience and that she was part of this journey. But being made in God's image, the name of that is Image Women's Ministry. And so being made in his image and living in excellence is our mantra. And so watching the women at my church, and our church is in a small town, about 40 miles outside of D.C., watching them create the ambiance of a 5-star event with just what they had. You know, I prayed about it, and God said, don't seek anyone outside of the church other than your band and your caterer, but let them decorate. Let them do all of the things that are going to create this, because this is going to be good for them.
Right.
It took a lot of patience because, you know, Alvin, we're used to things going chop, 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 chop. Bop, 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 bop. And I remember one night being there, and we were in a rehearsal, like a little dress rehearsal, like I was kind of telling them how I wanted things to go, and I was fussing. And the Lord said, stop fussing. Appreciate them where they are and help them to grow.
Grow up, bring them up.
And bring them up. And so at that time, I shifted from, you know, being this whole event planner, you know, to being like a mother to them and mothering them and nurturing them through. And they are so proud today. We have a lot of other events that we have planned for the year, and that event showed them that we can do it. We transformed our sanctuary into like a dinner club, like a jazz club. And the singer who is going to bless us tonight in song, you know, she created this incredible song list that, you know, was, I told her, I said, I want songs that's going to make women cry, that's going to make them laugh, that's going to make them wave their hands. And so the way she segued from song to song, people's emotions were tickled, and people were able to feel life. They were able to appreciate themselves and their sisters and their mothers and their aunties together in a safe place without having to, you know, fight through cigarettes and liquor and all that, but in a safe place, which is in God's sanctuary. God wants us to be happy. He wants us to see the fruits of our labor. He wants us to be able to enjoy the land of the living. He wants us to be able to enjoy life. And I think we should be able to do that. And I think that oftentimes people misconstrue what church is. Church is a place to heal. It's a soul-saving station, but it's a place of healing. And that place that we created in song and in word, we did have some speakers, allow women to heal from the inside out and to see themselves as God sees them, perfect in every way.
Well, it was a terrific idea.
Thank
when
you.
I heard about it, I wish I could have been there.
I know, Alvin.
I know, but I knew it was going to be a success because you blessed it, you touched it.
Thank you.
And you know, you had you covered it.
Will you produce the next one? Because it was really hard for me.
I am just a phone call away.
If you could produce the next one.
I'm a phone call away.
Okay, then
let's
do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I didn't say this earlier, but I hear you're engaged.
I am.
Congratulations.
I am marrying the pastor of this church that I had this event for. So I'm excited. Dante and I have been engaged for several months now, and we are getting married this year, Meet the Kings 2016. And we have this incredible journey of love that we actually are writing a book, and it talks about the steps and stages of dating into marriage. And we correlate it to a car ride, to a train, to a plane. It's interesting. You got to see it. Right now, we're boarding the plane.
Well, I haven't met Dante. I haven't met him directly. I follow you on social media, you know, and I see the love. It jumps off the screen. So congratulations to you and to Dante.
Thank you. You're coming to the wedding, right? Oh, okay. Okay. Need I say more?
No, you don't need to say any more. To close our show tonight, ladies and gentlemen, Kym and I have alluded to it, but we have a special guest who's going to perform for us tonight. She performed at Kym's Empowerment Luncheon, and we have her right here on We Speak to take us home. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Silver Logan Sharp.
Oh, close your eyes. Just imagine we're here on We Speak. Yeah. Listen. Imagine no more color lines. No more reasons why. No more reasons why. Anything you try, you can do it. Don't give up on you. Imagine your dreams coming true. Imagine a world where no one has color for skin. Imagine a place where everyone only stands to win. Some of us think we can't change anything, but if you could do it differently, what choices would you make? No more color lines. No more reasons why. No more reason. Anything. You can do it. Don't give up. Don't give up. It's so easy for you to jump to the wrong conclusion. Imagine if your first thought was to find a resolution. Some of us think we can't change anything, but if you could do it differently, what choices would you make? No more color lines. Not one reason why you can do anything. Don't give up. No. You can do anything that you wanna do. Don't ever give up. Just take it on. Yeah. Don't give up on you. Imagine if at the drop of a hat you could turn back and start each day all over again. That you wake, you can make a choice to love anyway, in spite of all the things that you cannot change. Imagine we're breaking down barriers. Yeah. Open up your heart and anything that you try. Don't give up. Don't give up. Don't give up. No. I know I'm talking to somebody right now on We Speak. There's no reason you can't do it. Whatever it is, don't give up. No. You know what? We all hurt the same. We all bleed the same. We all cry the same. We all love the same. Yes, we do. Don't ever give up. Don't ever give up. No. You can do it. You can do it. God bless you. Thank you. We speak.
Don't worry. 74 people were picked before me in the NFL draft.
To fight childhood obesity, United Way and the NFL are helping kids play at least 60 minutes a day.
Okay, time for the team obstacle course. Yay!
What this place needs is more healthy kids. To get involved or donate, go to unitedway.org/play60.
Now I get it.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me and put your hands together one more time for Silver Logan Sharp. Thank you. Woo! Amazing,
Wow.
amazing. Thank you. Well, this will end our show for this week. And as always, we thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. And I ask you to join us again when next we speak. Have a great night.